Good Thursday morning, everyone. Welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. We have freeze warnings to contend with across the northeast United States this morning with unseasonably cold temperatures, and then summertime heat will be building across the Great Plains in the eastern two-thirds of the country into next week, and then an active weather pattern will take us into late May with more severe weather events possible. We'll dive into those details later on in today's video. But going outside this morning, especially if you live into southeastern Canada or New England here, it is very chilly this morning. Temperatures are down into the 30s, if not the upper 20s in some areas this morning. In fact, there is freeze warnings across portions of coastal Maine, getting down through Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, down into New York State, northern PA here into Pennsylvania, and even as far westbound as northeastern Ohio. We have widespread freeze warnings as of this morning. And looking at the wind chills this morning across New England and the Northeast, the wind chills are down into the upper teens to lower 20s. This is the middle to end of May, folks. So this is very unseasonably cold temperatures and wind chills for this time of year. But as we go into this afternoon, we will be warming up into the 50s across the Northeast, but where elsewhere we'll be seeing the 80-degree temperatures returning across portions of Iowa, the Des Moines region warming up to 82 degrees this afternoon. 82 degrees in Kansas City. The heat will be building down here into west central Texas. Temperatures west of Dallas-Fort Worth will be into the lower 90s, especially with the help of the drought out here starting to get more of the dry heat out across West Texas this afternoon. But if you like detailed weather breakdowns on North America, including southern Canada, the United States, and the tropics, be sure to press the subscribe button down below. I definitely appreciate it. It's also very important to press the thumbs up button down below the video. It helps to get all of this weather information out to more and more people, so I definitely appreciate it. But going through today, the next focal point here will be for severe weather as we have a cold front diving down from the northern plains into portions of the Midwest and the central plains this afternoon and this evening. In fact, we have several areas of at least marginal severe thunderstorms possible. The first area up here into central and northern Wisconsin, stretching back into southeastern Minnesota, northeastern Iowa. We have another area down here into southern Tennessee and north central Alabama, and then a much larger area for marginal severe storms across the Front Range here into southeastern Colorado, southwestern Kansas, getting down into the Oklahoma, Texas panhandles, and then into portions of west central Texas later on today. And we do have a couple of areas to watch for tornado potential back here into western Wisconsin, southeastern Minnesota, and extreme northeastern Iowa from the La Crosse area up there towards Eau Claire, Wisconsin. And then we have more of a 2% shading as well down into the Oklahoma, Texas panhandle, stretching into southwest Oklahoma near the Amarillo area and getting very close to Vernon, Texas, as well as we go through later today. So timing the storms out, the noon time frame, you can see a couple showers are possible up across the upper Midwest as of the noon time frame. A couple showers and storms as well down across South Carolina into North Georgia. Other than that, fairly quiet across the majority of the country as of noon. But as we go through peak daytime heating, mid to late afternoon toward the dinner time frame, this is 6 o'clock, and we'll start to see storms igniting right along the cold front as it progresses through Wisconsin into northeastern Iowa. More of a squall line of showers and storms here. One or two of those storms could produce damaging winds over 60 miles per hour, some quarter-size hail, and an isolated tornado or two from La Crosse and northeast bound. And then we have some more scattered activity down here across portions of southeastern Colorado, getting into Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas panhandle, and even eastern New Mexico through this evening. That will continue to organize more of a convective system across the central and southern plains as we go through the late evening hours toward the midnight time frame. So definitely watch out for more heavy rain and damaging wind potential as we go through the late evening down across Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. But then as we go into Friday, the cold front will start to push a little bit farther to the south and east and will be interacting with more unstable air across the southern plains. So here we go again with a little bit higher chance of severe weather from Memphis back through Little Rock, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Shreveport, getting down towards San Antonio there into south central Texas. In the yellow shaded color, that's a level 2 of 5. That's a slight risk going into your Friday, May 19th. And we do have a 2% shading in the green color here for tornadoes from the Memphis area getting into northwestern Mississippi, into Little Rock there, Pine Bluff, Arkansas, getting back into Shreveport, Dallas, Fort Worth, right along the I-35 corridor down just towards the San Antonio region as we go through the day on Friday. So timing this out across the southern plains and the mid-south, noontime frame, just a couple of showers providing us the threat for some dampening of the ground out there, so to speak, through the late morning into the early afternoon hours. But as we go through peak daytime heating again on Friday, more scattered showers and storms will develop right along and ahead of the cold front, and these could become severe from south central Texas through northeast Texas, portions of Arkansas getting in towards western Tennessee. Those will dive to the south and east very slowly. There's not a lot of wind shear in the environment, so these storms won't be moving very quickly, but if you get under one of these stronger cells, they definitely could be producing some damaging winds over 60 miles per hour, quarter size hail or larger at times, and a couple of tornadoes. So definitely watch out for that, even going through the midnight time frame on Saturday. And then, oh yeah, as we go into Saturday, the cold front pushes even farther to the east, and we'll have a marginal threat for severe storms from the Atlanta area back through portions of Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, down into the Mobile area there into Alabama, Jackson, Mississippi, back toward Lake Charles and Baton Rouge as we go into Louisiana on Saturday, May 20th, this weekend. But going through the weekend time frame through Sunday, we are going to be seeing some decent rains across especially the southern plains, areas that we definitely need the rainfall, from Colorado into northern New Mexico through Oklahoma into Arkansas. Definitely some beneficial rains there. A lot of these areas will be seeing over an inch of rain through this weekend, and then some on and off rain showers with that cold front moving progressively across the eastern 2/3 of the country. We will be drying out across the upper Midwest and northern plains getting into this weekend with high pressure working in. But as we go into the weekend, though, with the drying out conditions to the north, temperatures will be rebounding into the 70s and 80s up here to the Dakotas, Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin. Definitely get outside and enjoy the nice weather on Saturday. And if you don't, then we have another opportunity for that on Sunday with even warmer conditions across the Great Plains and into portions of the Midwest. Lots of sunshine with the high pressure up there. So definitely go walk the dog, go for a jog, anything like that outside. Definitely a great weekend to do so. But if you don't, even on Sunday, we have more warm weather continuing across the rest of the upper Midwest there and the Great Lakes region, stretching east into the northeast, going through at least the May 27th time frame. Near normal to slightly below normal temperatures are favored down into the Rio Grande Valley there into south central Texas, across the Gulf Coast and into the southeast, including the Carolinas and parts of Virginia going through the end of the month there. So early next week, this is Monday, May 22nd, some 80s can be felt across the heartland of the country there. We will be building up the temperatures, though, toward the middle of next week on Wednesday, May 24th, with more mid to upper 80s stretching farther north into places like Iowa, Missouri, getting into Illinois, Indiana, and more of the low 80s stretching up into the Twin Cities region. 83 for a high on Wednesday up across the Minneapolis-St. Paul vicinity, even some upper 70s up into the Green Bay region. So definitely seeing some more warmer conditions by the middle of next week, and this will continue through the very final days of May, going through May 31st, with likely above normal temperatures across the northern United States, including especially the upper Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and the Northeast as well. So definitely a welcome sight after the cold start to the morning today across portions of the Northeast. Looking at the precipitation trends through the rest of the month of May, looks like the wettest conditions will be felt down here in areas that do need the rain, so that's some good news. We have that across the Four Corners region into the western high plains, and then across Florida as well. We could have more tropical development getting off the shore there of Florida and the western portions of the Atlantic Basin. We'll have to continue to watch over the next several days, but as of now, just starting to broad brush this a little bit with some above normal precipitation across the southeast expected with that particular system as well. But going through next week, this is the upper level jet stream, and you see the big ridge of high pressure in the middle there with no wind really underneath that. A lot of sinking air. We have the jet over top of that ridge into southern Canada and the subtropical jet off the Pacific down here across Texas and the Gulf Coast. So really right in between, we're not really seeing much of active weather going into next week as well. So fairly quiet across the majority of the country. This is next week, guys. And look at that big donut hole across the Midwest and the Ohio Valley with the precipitation. We're seeing a lot of sunshine into next week. The active weather will be up here across southern Canada there from British Columbia into Alberta, farther east through Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Ontario, and then all the way down into the Four Corners region, West Texas, and the southern plains. That's where we will see the other part of the active weather with the subtropical jet into next week. But other than that, very quiet conditions. But looking at the severe weather prospects into next week, on Monday, we don't have really a chance of severe weather as the dew points will remain into the 40s and 50s. We will start to see more moisture return out of the western Gulf as we go into the middle of next week. On Wednesday, May 24, dew points could be arriving into the upper 50s and low 60s as far north as the Dakotas, and then more impressive moisture return as we get into late next week into next weekend, Friday, May 26th, Saturday, May 27th, and even probably on Sunday, May 28th, we'll start to see more mid to upper 60 dew points advecting up into the upper Midwest and the northern plains. That could be providing us with storm chances as that upper level ridge starts to break down just a little bit on the northern periphery late next week. Starting on Wednesday, May 24th, we have that active storm track up across Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and parts of the Dakotas. That pushes a little bit farther south as we go into Thursday, May 25th, and toward the Twin Cities region. Watching out for some stronger storms there, possibly on Thursday, and then more of a widespread type of thunderstorm event, potentially getting towards late next week on Friday and into next weekend. We'll have to watch across the Dakotas, Nebraska, getting into Minnesota and Iowa here. That one could be a little bit more interesting during that Wednesday through Friday time frame, give or take a day or so. I do think likely severe weather across parts of the Dakotas, northern Nebraska, getting through Minnesota, western Wisconsin, and northern Iowa here, with possible category 4 severe weather outside of that in the yellow shaded color, and that could extend down portions of the dry line across portions there of the Front Range into eastern Colorado, into the Texas Panhandle, and western Oklahoma during the late portion of next week. Well, if you like detailed weather breakdowns, be sure to subscribe down below. And also, if you like additional weather forecast updates, hit the description down below the video and follow me on Twitter, hweather420. I update on that platform very frequently as well. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching today. Again, as always, be sure to press the like button down below, the thumbs up button down below the video. Definitely helps out more than you know. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like I said, if you were new, hit the notification bell to get all of my daily weather forecast updates on this channel. Have a great Thursday, everybody. A great rest of your week, and I will see you all in the next video.